Both the Xbox Series consoles as well as the PlayStation 5 have their own strengths and weaknesses. Now, when it comes to strengths, I think that the Xbox Series X in particular, strength is, going to be the power. That's what people talk about. Power, power, power. Of course, power wheels are only going to be talked about when, the consoles has something to really kind of achieve by this, and when it's actually something that, people are going to be able to kind of see with their own eyes. Like, people tend to not believe things unless they can kind of make it out with their own two eyes, and that makes sense. I think that is definitely a way to go. With the PlayStation side, we see some great looking titles so far. We've seen titles take advantage of the solid state drive, which is exactly what people were asking for. People were really kind of looking forward to seeing just how next generation this solid state drive is, as well as just kind of seeing if it lived up to the hype. And that's only natural when it comes to these gaming consoles, and we have to kind of keep that in mind when it goes forward. As for this particular bit of interesting information, this is definitely something that I thought Xbox maybe should have done right away. I realize that this is something that maybe not everyone cares about, or they may think there's just something that aesthetically is pleasing, but I feel like this is a big deal for your new next generation 4K console. I think that this is something that probably should have done a little bit earlier, but when in comparison to what PlayStation is doing, PlayStation is way ahead of the game, and I think that it's going to continue to be ahead of the game in some of these areas. But it is nice to see that Microsoft is paying some attention to what people are asking for, and I want to jump into this. What's up, everybody? Crapgamer here with Crapgamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I really do appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that as well. There's some big announcements coming this week for my crappy little dying channel. Just so you know, keep that in mind as well. We're going to keep going forward with things. We're going to keep trying. We're going to keep busting our butt. And, hopefully things are going to go in a direction where a lot of you enjoy it. And that's all I would ask. If you enjoy it or you watch it, give it a like. If not, if you're just a troll, then, kind of do your own thing, man. I just wish you would kind of leave me alone with what I'm doing and let me just do what I want to do and have some fun. It's not hurting anybody, and I think that's the main thing that I would get across. Now, with that being said, hey, you know what? Good on Microsoft for getting this sorted out and getting this and working on this. This was something that I originally brought up before these consoles even launched, and it didn't make sense to me why Microsoft wouldn't do this. Now, Sony had been doing a 4K dashboard / UI since the PS4 Pro, and you might go, oh, well, that's just a silly little thing, and I get it that it is like a silly little thing or whatever, but at the same time, I think that it's so obvious how much better and fresher and sleeker the PlayStation 4 Pro and the PlayStation 5 dashboard is overall, and that's something that I kind of wanted to stress, is just how much better it looks and how much next generation it looks compared to what the Xbox is doing, which is just basically upscaling a 1080p image. And if you have a new TV, or if you're rocking something like I am, especially with like the CX OLED or whatever, then things aren't really looking as good as they could be, unfortunately. So Xbox Series X is getting a new 4K dashboard. It's getting a resolution upgrade according to this. Microsoft is starting to test a new 4K dashboard for the Xbox Series X today, and Xbox insiders in the alpha and skip ahead rings will get access to the increased resolution for the dashboard later today. Designed to improve UI elements for 4K display. This change means home, guide, and other areas of the UI will be displayed in a higher native resolution for increased sharpness and text readability, according to Microsoft's Xbox testing team. Until the new 4K dashboard, Xbox Series X consoles had been running dashboard UI elements at 1080p. Native 4K elements for home, guide, and other parts of the dashboard will greatly improve how Xbox Series X appears on 4K TVs. It's not yet clear whether HDR will also be supported as part of the new resolution bump, and whether the Xbox Series S will also see improvements to its dashboard resolution. The smaller Xbox Series S can technically output at 4K, so it's possible this console will also see dashboard improvements. The new dashboard changes come just days after Microsoft also started testing a new night mode for various Xbox consoles. The new night mode allows Xbox owners to dim their screen's controller LED brightness, and even the Xbox power button. Both the 4K Dash and Night Mode should start rolling out to all Xbox Series X consoles later this year. And speaking with the Night Mode, the software giant has stated that they're testing it for the alpha and skip ahead ring today, and it allows Xbox owners to dim their screens and the power button and the things that I just mentioned. The Night Mode has a lot of customization options, including different dimming levels and an option for a blue light filter. Microsoft is also allowing Xbox owners to dim LED brightness on their controllers. In this Night Mode, and dim the power Xbox button so you can light or turn it off, which is going to be very important going forward. You can also set an Xbox to switch to the system dark mode and disable HDR when the night mode is enabled. The Xbox night mode can also be set to a schedule, either a manual one or an automatic one that will enable it at sunset and disable it at sunrise. Microsoft is currently testing it with Xbox insiders, so expected to see it filtered through the various testing channels in the coming week before arriving to all consoles, because that's usually the way that they do things, and that's very crucial going forward. Now, where do I stand on this update, the new 4K dashboard? Like I said, it seems like a very small thing, but for people with 4K TVs, it's actually very good, because unbelievably, it's very difficult to kind of see, what's going on in terms of, reading the text and stuff like that. I feel like that's something that has been a bit of a problem for Microsoft and their console. So I do hope that they kind of get that stuff worked out, and I hope that it's worked out before too long, to be honest with you. I want to see them do well, and I want to see them kind of get things moved into a direction that makes it much more of a situation where gamers have something that they can be proud of, and something that really showcases what the capabilities are, because that's going to be the most important thing going forward. And hopefully we get that before too long, because I just feel like it looks better, aesthetically pleasing, to where and again, I get the whole idea that before it was previously thought that it was a memory issue, and maybe now it's not so much of a memory issue. I don't know, I'm not 100% sure, but to me, just like the dashboard looks much cleaner and easier to read with the higher resolution, especially with the higher resolution TV. And if you don't have a higher resolution TV, then I guess it doesn't really matter. But like I said, I do enjoy seeing this, and I enjoy hearing that Microsoft is definitely listening to fan feedback, and we're going to be seeing some movements made and some things like that. This isn't the only bit of information as well. It looks like there's also a very cool preview feature arriving as well. But this might be something to do with cloud, so I really don't care. But their cloud product leader said that they were in some meetings, and there's some cool stuff. And somebody responded, "Can't wait for the new preview feature this week. It's going to be very cool." So they're guessing what it could be. I personally don't care about cloud stuff, so we'll have to wait and see how that works out too. But for me personally, I love seeing them work with the 4K dashboard and the night mode. That's some really just cool stuff, some added bonuses in my opinion, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens from there. With that being said, I'm going to link all of this in the description. You fine folks can check it out. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, Crapgamer 'em up. Crapgamer out.